Welcome back. Today, we need to talk about that incredible match last night. It was absolute tactical perfection on the field. That is what makes this game so special.
Welcome to This Explainer. You know, usually, the World Cup is won out there on the pitch. But in 2026, it might actually be won at the airport. Today, we're diving into how the absolutely unprecedented, grueling logistics of the upcoming tournament are forcing a heartbroken French national team to completely evolve their entire strategy. So let's dive right in. I want you to take yourselves back to December 18th, 2022. Qatar, the World Cup final. A staggering 1.5 billion of us tuned in for what's now widely considered to be the greatest match in the history of the sport. It was a legendary, truly heartbreaking clash between Argentina and France. And to understand where France is heading in 2026, well, we first have to understand the trauma of how 2022 ended.
Look at this timeline. For 80 minutes, France was basically a ghost team. And then, out of nowhere, Kylian Mbappé just exploded. A penalty in the 80th minute, followed just 97 seconds later by an absolutely unbelievable volley to equalize. It was insane. Even after Messi put Argentina ahead in extra time, Mbappé stepped right back up in the 118th minute, matching Jeff Hurst's 1966 record with a World Cup final hat-trick.
But you know, heroics really only get you so far when a match goes to penalties. France ultimately lost the shootout 4-2. Argentina's Emiliano Martinez masterfully deployed these intense psychological mind games, delaying Kingsley Coman and Aurelien Tchouameni before their misses. It was just a devastating end, setting up a massive redemption arc for France heading into 2026.
Okay, let's move on to Section 1, the 2026 expansion.
To find that redemption, France has to face an entirely new kind of antagonist. See, in Qatar, the tournament was incredibly compact. Teams practically stayed in a single hotel for the entire month. But as you can see here in 2026 across North America, the scale absolutely explodes. We're jumping from 32 to 48 teams and 64 up to 104 matches, spread across 3 huge nations and 16 host cities. It's a sprawling, giant format unlike anything we've seen in history.
Which brings us to Section 2, the toll of travel. To really understand the physical limits being tested by this massive geographic footprint, just look at a team like Bosnia and Herzegovina. They are facing a staggering 5,000-kilometer travel route during their group stage alone. Just to put that into perspective, that's literally like flying from New York to London just to play your opening round of games. Now, this kind of extensive travel severely degrades a finely tuned athlete. As sports medicine expert Dr. Scott Shue points out right here, the lower cabin pressure on these long flights actually causes muscle swelling. The dry air leads to dehydration, and the low oxygen completely ruins sleep. So we're not just talking about a bad case of jet lag here, it's practically physiological sabotage.
And here is where the real danger lies. The 24 to 48 hours immediately after a match, that's the absolute most critical window for muscle recovery. Forcing these athletes into cramped airplane seats during this exact window restricts blood circulation and causes severe muscle stiffness. And when you compound that over a 30-day tournament, this travel fatigue actively impairs cognitive function and split-second decision-making on the pitch.
But wait, it's not just the distance, it's the climate whiplash too. I mean, just imagine playing a grueling match in the cool environment of Canada, and then literally just days later, having to sprint for 90 minutes in the sweltering heat and high altitude of Mexico City. Having to rapidly acclimatize to these crazy swings drastically spikes the risk of injury.
In fact, extreme heat is such a prevalent concern, with a quarter of the matches expected to exceed standard safety limits, that FIFA is actually stepping in with a highly specific mandate. They're requiring a strict 3-minute hydration break at the exact 22-minute mark of every single half.
All right, that brings us to Section 3, Rebuilding Les Bleus.
Faced with this grueling physical gauntlet, France's head coach Didier Deschamps, well, he isn't just crossing his fingers and relying on hope. As you can see, through meticulous planning and, sure, a bit of luck in the draw, France has managed to secure a group stage travel itinerary of under 600 kilometers. So while England is traveling 2,800 kilometers and Bosnia is flying 5,000, France is actively preserving their players' legs. That is a massive, massive competitive edge before a single ball is even kicked.
The real anchor of this masterclass in logistics is their base camp,
which is basically their secret weapon. They've chosen Bentley University in Waltham, Massachusetts. By setting up shop right here, they completely shield the team from all that cross-country travel chaos. The place offers state-of-the-art arena workout facilities, pristine athletic fields, and crucially, it's just a short drive away from their game venue in Foxborough.
For Deschamps, securing this exact location was pretty much non-negotiable. As he noted, they received a warm welcome and strongly believe Bentley is the absolute best option for the French national team. You see, they aren't just booking a practice field here. They've intentionally built a highly controlled sanctuary to manage physiological stress and guarantee optimal recovery.
Moving on to Section 4, the ultimate farewell.
But listen, minimizing travel fatigue, that's really only half the battle. You still have to go out there and win on the pitch. Now, Didier Deschamps took over a pretty messy French squad back in 2012 and essentially built a dynasty. I mean, the guy won the World Cup as a captain in 1998 and then again as a manager in 2018. And now, heading into what is widely anticipated to be his final World Cup, he is pulling out absolutely all the stops.
To secure that ultimate farewell, he's engineered an absolute offensive juggernaut. We're talking a relentless front line featuring Kylian Mbappé, Ousmane Dembélé, Mikel Olise, and Bradley Barcola. Just how lethal is this combination? Well, in 4 recent matches, this specific group contributed a staggering 12 out of France's 13 total goals. They are quite literally designed to overwhelm the opposition.
Which really leaves us with this final, provocative question as we wrap up this explainer. In a tournament designed to push human endurance to its absolute breaking point, has France engineered the perfect formula? Will this mix of a hyper-optimized sanctuary in Massachusetts and a terrifyingly potent attack on the pitch be enough to avenge that 2022 heartbreak and conquer the logistical nightmare of 2026? I guess we'll find out soon enough.
That is all for today. We need to talk about that incredible match last night. It was absolute tactical perfection on the field. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel.